right, guys, so we out here today out and about, and I ran into this beautiful woman, and she'd like to share a few words with us. She's going to give us a little bit about her story. What's your name, ma'am?
Michelle Cooper.
And Michelle Cooper, she says she is from Raleigh, Winston-Salem, North Carolina, all the way up in Philly from the down south. Well, we blessed to have you up here with your beautiful smile. Let us know what you're doing out here. What's going on?
Okay, well, I first originally moved here 12 years ago with my husband.
Okay.
Both of us had been clean when we first got here, but we relapsed.
Okay.
He had something pending at North Carolina that I wasn't aware of, and so he was actually extradited back.
Oh.
And that left me here without any support, without any husband, any
And
family.
how many years ago was that?
It's been 12.
You've been on these streets for 12 years?
12 years. 12 years.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. But I struggle with it like on and off.
What is it that you do?
I smoke crack and shoot heroin.
Okay.
Yeah.
That seems to be the trend.
Yeah.
So you're not alone.
Right. Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Which is on my worst, because
Yeah.
it's a nightmare. But anyway.
So tell us what it's like as a woman being out here.
It's hard. It's scary.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because it's detrimental to your well-being. I mean, at any given point, you're vulnerable to men. You're vulnerable to death. It could be from people, or it could be from the drugs. Either one. And it's cold as hell in the winter. It's really cold.
So, some people will say, if you feel like that, how have you been out here for 12 years if it's hard like that?
I guess because it gets to a point where it is no longer so. Then, like with me, I'm afraid that I don't know how to do anything different. And there's so much pain that, like, when you do get clean and sober, all that rushes in, and it can be really overwhelming. I know that some have committed suicide, and I mean, it's just really difficult once it goes on from like being a social thing to actually being a lifestyle. But then you just exist, you don't live. You just exist day to day, and it's all that you know.
So if you could speak to the world and tell them anything about yourself, what would you want them to know about you, who you are as a person?
That although that I do drugs, I'm still a human being. That I hurt, I feel pain just like everyone else. And if you get the chance and give me a chance to judge me upon my sight, that you might actually like me. I'm pretty intelligent by the grace of God. I was gifted with a certain intellect level, and I had actually great parents that made me go to school and further educate myself. So I'm just a really intelligent, nice person.
I could tell.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, just one more thing. If you could speak to any young girl that is thinking about peer pressure and being led to do drugs, what would you tell her?
I would say try really hard not to fall into that, because there is so much more to life. And it's a lot more difficult than anyone can imagine.
Tell them
especially if you lose hope.
Yep. And tell them how people will treat them, how men will treat them.
Oh well, not very well. I mean, you like men can be controlling, ugly, volatile, and then also just other people in general who think just because of society's status that a certain amount of income or this car or home or this or that, that they're better than you are, which can further knock you down. And then you just lose hope, and it's it's a vicious cycle.
Yep.
It's
And
a
the feeling
vicious
of
cycle.
helplessness is terrible. And I think that's what keep a person out here.
It does.
Yep.
It does.
Now, are there any programs that do people come by, do the churches or anything for this whole COVID virus? Are they out here helping the homeless people?
No.
Mm-hmm.
No. And if they are, I'm not yet running across them. That would be nice.
Right.
But,
I guess you guys aren't affected by coronavirus, huh?
I wasn't so sure that it was biased. But,
Exactly.
yeah.
Well, thank you so
Prejudice,
much.
yeah.
Thank you for your time today, and I'm
Thank
gonna,
you.
you know, like I said, we're gonna talk off camera,
Okay.
and thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you.
God bless you. Someone you know is struggling with drug addiction, text HOME, HOME, to 741-741, or dial 1-800-662-4357.